Music is so neat. There's a radio up there, Ma. It does raise your vibration. It puts you into an elevated state. Unless you're listening to this sad stuff, and it can bring you down just as well as it could bring you up, man. I always love music, and it's got weird. Music, the music industry, entertainment, Hollywood, it's just everything shifted because people shifted. So it got weird. It got gross. When self-wills run riot, I tell ya, it takes the world into some dark and crazy places, and it is well on its way. Yeah. I was just listening to Mary Mary. Mary Mary. I think that's what it's called. Yep, Thankful. Mary Mary Thankful. The song is the album's Thankful, I guess. The song is Shackles. Praise You. It's a cool song. It does the trick. So, Ma had a real good birthday yesterday, wouldn't you say, Ma? Or I won't say it for you. How was your birthday yesterday, Ma? It's today I had the dip. I just had a really gnarly headache all day long, an exceptionally gnarly headache, and just ride through it. It's just the energy. Just ride through it, and stop and rest. Yeah. Stop and rest every now and again. The weather's been pretty okay. Well, it was windy today. It was really. This is the first time it's been windy since we lived here, and I was gonna go pay rent early, and it freaking occurred to me today because I kept trying to do it. And it kept saying error message, and then finally when I looked at it, it's looking at my old bank account that's closed, the one from Oregon. And so I got to redirect it to the bank account here, local, which takes like 1 to 3 business days because they have to put like a small deposit into your account to verify. And then on the app, you have to verify your account by putting those numerical values for the transaction in the, so I don't know. I'm glad I caught it. I still got it, it could go through tomorrow. It doesn't matter. I'll take care of it. It's just like, man, people want to rely more and more on technology. It's not a good idea. It's just a really, really bad idea. And the only people that are really pushing for it are the ones that profit from it. But they don't get how crappy it is for the end user. They don't get how shitty their interface is. And, their human-computer interface on websites, mobile devices, laptop, it doesn't matter. It's just like I'm constantly freaking picking this stuff apart. It's ridiculous. How many clicks should it have to get? I mean, and you can't even because they all have the chats and stuff. They don't give numbers anymore, so you can't talk to anybody anymore. So they have these automated bots that it's like, well, there's only so many questions that they can ask. Let's make them answer the questions that we want to make them answer, rather than making it easier for them to get to us. It's just absurd. It's just it's crazy. But surrender. I call today's talk surrender. That's right. I had a big surrender last night. Because you just get tired of how things are, and in some capacity, in some area in your life, and you got to realize that it's not going to change until some action is made, until something is done. Because praying isn't going to make it go away, and wishing ain't going to make it go away. And sometimes to change your life, more often than not, you got to take some action. And Mom's birthday was yesterday, and my brother and I didn't have a good exchange on Thanksgiving because I feel like Mom deserves a phone call because she's important enough, and he doesn't feel the same way because he's mad about stuff from a long time ago, and that's fine. That's okay. People can, It's not. It just doesn't do people any good to carry that. I'm not even. I don't even hate my dad from stuff that happened a long time ago. My frustration, because I just look at it as like movie excerpts, like when I was there, I was just watching it like, I can't believe this guy is such a dick, kind of thing. But whatever, people have people like that in their life. I'm not the only one. I mean, life should be a lot more relatable because so many people had freaking, crappy experiences from their elders when they were younger. And my frustration with him is that I gotta be all the one that initiates every kind of exchange we have, or we just don't talk. It's like he doesn't ever pick up the phone and just say, hey, I was thinking about you, and that'd be nice. It's stuff like that. It's just always a one-way street. So that programmed me earlier on to just find people that I'm just going to be involved on a one-way street relationship with. So it took a lot of years to reprogram myself that it's cooperation is nature's way. So anyway, he sent a message yesterday asking if Mom was available so that he could call her for her birthday. And he called and put it on speaker, and and they had a nice conversation stuff, huh? Yeah. It is, and I chimed in a time or two. Like I said, though, the previous exchange was tense. So he messaged me later, or shortly after we got off the phone, and asked that I call him back after Mom went to bed. And I said, okay. All right. Let's see how this goes. And it was amicable. Nobody yelled. Nobody screamed. I said if we could just keep it, in the present tense, that's good, But you got to use sometimes things in the past as frame of reference, as key point, as like, okay, but, and I don't know. It's just weird because I understand his astrology, so I know how he thinks. I know how he operates, right? I get it. He doesn't understand me much at all. Except for when we have conversations, the things that come out of my mouth resonate with him, and he says, yes, that is very true. He says that a lot. So I just think that I said, well, none of this really matters because the sun's going to go out and restart again. The poles are going to flip, and the equator, we're going to be south of the equator before you know it, and it don't matter. And it is. I'll believe it when I see it. I'm like, all right, let's hope so. It'll be 60. It's 60 to 70 when it's supposed to happen. I'll be 58. Mom, you'll be 82. I don't know. You still gonna be around? You gonna watch this? You gonna stick around, watch the sun go out, and restart? Man, that's like reset to 0. You know it? That's like any beef anybody have. Like, see, that's the thing is, I think of situations like that happening, and then like you go to the frickin', I don't know, DMV. And I think about all the nonsense that the general population has to put up with because a small select few had the task of implementing some rules and regulations, just to keep people from harming each other and themselves and things like that. But they didn't do just that. They took it to the extreme because they got a taste. It's like a dog when it gets a taste for blood, it wants more. If they got that propensity. It's the same thing with power. And so the more the people, the powers that be, are like controlling the masses, it feeds the entity that they serve. And the more people live from their will, not from their heart, because people know what the right and wrong thing to do is, you know. A lot of people are their consciousness and minds and psyches and all that, all the above, they are clouded by freaking a lot of outside substances. So I had a big surrender again. I have them all the time, because I understand that the only thing I have control over in this life is how I respond to things. Yeah? And sometimes people don't think I respond in a way that's acceptable to them. And well, I guess I would agree the same thing for them, you know? But people can agree to disagree. They used to be able to do that a lot more. I'm going to switch gears. For Mom's birthday yesterday, she got the 8-season disc of Quincy. It's a show that we used to watch, and he's a forensic doctor. He's the coroner for Los Angeles. And Jack Klugman used to be on The Odd Couple, stuff like that. And there was an episode that was on right before I started this talk, and it reminded me of some things, because they don't. I don't even. Well, I guess we haven't had cable in years. I have Hulu. Mom watches DVDs, but like, I haven't been at anybody's house where they've had TV, where I've even seen cable to see what, like, you know, what people are into and stuff, and everything is just split off anyway. Like the big networks, they're not even the big networks anymore, because everybody has their own platform for shows. There's like Peacock, HBO, Disney. There's all these different places that people can go to watch what their program is in line for, and that's how they know. That's how the people that make the shows know that their programming is working by the demographics. And ow, I just kicked my weight. So anyway, this episode on Quincy, it was a little boy, and his stepdad was beating him. He was abusing him. And this little kid, I have to look up and see who the actor is, because his face looks familiar. But I wonder what he looks like when he was older, because they do that a lot. They used to do that on all those old TV shows. You just had these actors that would just go from show to show to show and do these little parts, right? So a lot of them are very interchangeable. So this little kid, the stepdad was freaking, teaching him how to be a man. I mean, listen to this stuff. That's how people, now you can't even hardly raise your voice at freaking kids. They piddle themselves. And they'll be like, I'm standing in my power. You can't talk to me that way. It's crazy. So this kid, the stepdad was like teaching him how to, he's like, and it always starts with respect. And it's really poignant to how this works in real life, because I've seen this I've seen it in my own household when I was growing up and things like that. It's like for the junkie or the alcoholic or whatever, the mind, altered mind, it, for some reason, it really gives a shit about respect. They don't do respectable things a lot of times, but if you disrespect them, it like flips a switch in their noodle and they go ballistic, you know? And I've been threatened a lot by the men in mom's life when I was younger because I did not respect them. And, you know, I didn't care. I always got my freaking ass beat, but you tighten it hard enough, it don't even hurt. You know, whatever. That's all you got, really? I thought you were a man. You know, I mean, you just talk shit, and I mean, it hurts. Yeah, it hurts freaking bad, but you just act like it don't, and whatever. But they were talking about how one of the doctor, his boss was like, I was in a conference in Sacramento, and they were talking about how when the little kids being abused, that oftentimes they will gravitate to the most abusing parent because they want to please them. They want to keep them happy. And I'm like, okay, I could see that. You know, the kid was a good little actor, and and they carried it all the way. He had to get placed. He had to go to a foster home. He actually went to that Quincy's boss's to be fostered while his mom and gets help that she needs, so she doesn't choose the man over over her son's life, because that stuff escalates, and he could have ended up dead. So kid is just going through all the emotions of just like, his freaking, he's not wanted, he has to go live with these people, and he can't be, and then Quincy didn't want to hang out with them because he was like, well, why can't I stay with you? You don't want me either. And it just brought up, I could have freaking really gone that way. I could have really become a part of the program, I really could have. All the way down to still living in Omaha, being in a relationship that I wasn't happy in, but I was in a relationship, and I had owned the home, and I had the job, and I had, and I could go to the concerts and do all the things that distract me from what life is supposed to really be about. Helping people. Being a service. Helping people get past all that crap, man. So many people have been broken when they were younger, and now there's so many broken people on the planet. Where are people going to go to get put back together? Where are the good examples of the people that got put back together? Because I'm looking for them every day, and I'm not looking at those Eckhart Tolles or Gabor Mates or any of those dudes that couldn't fucking change a tire. I want to see the people that have been through hell on earth and then still abstain from drugs and alcohol, want to be a better person than they were yesterday, but not as good as person that they'll be tomorrow. The people that aren't letting it freaking get to them. Not the people that navigate through life in a bubble and they get everything, they go where they want, they do what they want, and they don't deal in anything that is low vibrational frequency, or they don't want to deal with. They got their little spiritual little horsey blinders on, and they're just going through life. No, you're too negative. No. Excuse me? What? You're the new way? Excuse me? What? Can you change a tire? You probably couldn't even change a bike tire. I want people, I'm looking for the people to lead me and guide me that have practical knowledge, that didn't just sell out for some nonsense, some BS, some reindeer game, I saw I posted on Twitter today. I don't post on Twitter very much. It was where's mine? More tales of missing money. Yep. It's everywhere. Yep. And they say us down here, we're the criminals. We're the freaking evaders, right? No, we're just trying to get by. A lot of people are just trying to get by. I called it, my twatter is third eye activated. 3RD. And I put more money laundering. In 2021, Albuquerque spent $63.7 million, the city of Albuquerque, on nonprofits. Stop calling them nonprofits. It's all money laundering, dude. Somebody freaking submits a piece of paper, says this is what I want to do. They submit a piece of paper, they get signed off, and then like, okay, in the name of this noble deed that I'm going to do, give me money. And then they just start getting money because maybe they're cute, maybe their family's well known, but they go around, hey, so and so, they started a non-for-profit. Oh, that's Jimmy's cousin. Let me freaking give them $10K. And they just they do all this stuff, but they don't pay the money forward in the deed that they're supposed to be doing. They buy themselves the stationery and the cars and the offices with the big fancy furniture and the big monitor and the waiting room with the big plants and you're paying for all that stuff. It don't go to the people. In 2021, Albuquerque spent $63.7 million on nonprofits. Oh, here's a glitch. Speaking of an IT glitch, this is just MSN.com. Whenever I open it on a page, like every single time, if I see a headline and I click on it, it'll go down about more often than not, the continue reading button isn't there until you refresh the page. Then you refresh the page. Oh, look, there's the continue reading button. It's just like, dude, what are your programmers doing? They're just, maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work. Give me some more Adderall. Where's that Diet Mountain Dew? Maybe it'll work. That's what they're doing. The city of Albuquerque shows how much the city has invested in nonprofits and community partnerships. The data from 2021 shows the city funded more than 63 million contracts via 240 partnerships. There are people that need places to live all over this fucking state. Every place. And you know what's another urgent call? Another urgent call, the pet situation. And it's not just here, it's in little rural communities all over the United States. See? Because how many people are going to veterinarian school? How many people are smart enough to go to veterinarian school? How many people have the dedication? See, people don't follow through with things anymore. So they're not, because someone is just going to take care of you? It don't even make no sense. So what we need, and I'm seriously going to consider, like, putting a proposal together and going to the shelter, and then if they like it, they can take it to the city to alleviate some of the freaking pet problems. And it's cats and dogs. See? Because you have people with the mentality, they don't spay and neuter. They don't spay and neuter you got to reprogram that shit. It's better for your pet if you spay and neuter. There's too many, they're part of the food chain here. So, and my proposal is this. If I reach out to the communities, the bigger communities, where they have veterinary school, and be like, hey, you graduate, come live in Taos for a year. The community can put you up because you're going to be working for it. You're not just going to be skiing in the mountains and chilling at the hot springs. You're going to spend your time just doing spay and neuters. And if we got 6, 7 from different parts, because people like coming here. They love it here. It's, and if they just, the city puts them up in a place to live, and they get the facilities, they let them, and why couldn't the veterinarian services donate what they already have as like a cooperational community effort. So like let them work overnights or whatever, a swing shift, use the facilities, and just do spay and neuters for dogs and cats. Because it's out of hand all over. I mean, and there's like a Taos pet community pet post. And there's like all these websites, and it breaks my heart because it's people that every day it's 3, 4, 5 dogs. I found this dog. These dogs are running. Pictures of dogs on the side of the road that have been hit and killed. Is this your dog? It was, and it's just like, there's, and then there's not any emergency veterinary services within 2 hours from here. So if you're like, somebody posted the other day that 2 dogs got tagged by a porcupine and there's no emergency vet services. So where what can they do for the dogs to alleviate the pain? And it just sucks. It just sucks because there's like 3 veterinarians here, and it's all 9 to 5:30, and it needs more than that. And there's a lot of, and then like Benny on the Pueblo, they have like, hey, clinics and stuff like that on the Pueblo. But even that's a nightmare because it's only every now and again. Maybe your cat's not going to be, it's just, there are solutions. The people at the top don't want viable solutions because they don't have good ideas and they don't know anybody that has good ideas, but they just keep coming, the ideas that they have, they just keep doing, and they're just freaking lame. But how do you get in there? How does somebody get in there with the good ideas? So like, if they wanted to do like a rotation, come here, live here for a year, just do spay and neuter, and then enjoy, have weekends off or whatever, pick your days of the week, and the rest of the time that you're not living, and get caught up on it, and just do that. Because, man, this state, clearly the state has so much money. They just don't put it for the right things. And every day, come on, Benno. Every day people are freaking, there's more and more violence in Santa Fe, Albuquerque. Here, too. There's like, it's just too much. And I know that it's like this in other states. the number of homelessness that I freaking witnessed when I came from Oregon, and that, they got plenty of money, too. They keep freaking building those big, stupid fucking glass buildings. Look around in all the metropolitan areas. You want to see where the COVID money's going? Look around at the skyscraper and look at all the gigantic cranes. Look at all the cranes all over the large metropolitan areas. I look at it like in the backdrop. Sometimes people like will have backdrops outside the windows in their YouTube talks and stuff like that, or like on Twitters and Instacrap and Facebook, people post pictures. You could like, and they're like in Chicago with the all this stuff. Just like, holy hell! Look at all those cranes. Man, that's a lot of money. Are they building stuff for homeless people? Is that what they're doing? Nope, just another big stupid glass building. I seriously lost a lot of respect for the architectures of that are getting the freaking contracts. They got the latest version of CAD, and it's like, look out, give me a gazillion-dollar budgets, and I'll make it pretty. And it's like, that shit's ugly, man. They're changing whole cityscapes. Ugly. Nobody wants that, but the people that are building it. Seattle and San Francisco, all the big old glass buildings. So no, it just doesn't even, it's not even practical. But people that have the most money, they just do what they want, and then if there's any kind of consequence, oh well. That's all right. That's all right. So I wonder what other people's surrenders are these days. People gotta come up to them. There are people that bare knuckle it. That white knuckle it. I used to go walk up to people's hands. I'd have conversations with them, and I talk to them and they tell me how they're like, and all I can hear is how they're just like managing their life here, and they're managing their life here, and they're making this happen, and they're making that happen. And I go grab their hands and I turn their hands over and I look at their hands and be like, well, they're not bloody yet. They're not bloody from the rains yet. The horse reins. People hang on so tight. I hang on tight. I hang on tight to my family because I know that that's what I'm supposed to be doing, is making sure mom's comfortable and happy for the rest of her life. That is, you know, she had me to take care of her, essentially. And I never had kids, and some days it's kind of like it. Some days she's ornery. She used to tell me stories when she was a little girl. This other little girl was really mean to her. And like she splashed you or something like that. It was something like that. And then mom was like, oh no. And she went over and she pushed her down. But mom got in trouble. But the other little girl instigated it. I'm like, Ma, story of my life too. Other people instigate stuff. I react, and then I get in trouble. You know how long it took me to figure out that if I don't react, I don't get in trouble? Let's see, how old am I now? But, anyway. It's just about, I had so much anxiety today. I woke up pretty okay, but then it came on, and I just got busy. I just started cleaning floors. I started putting stuff away. I started doing laundry. You know, when I don't know what to do with myself, that's when I get busy. So, I got a log to put the stone on, because I set it on the porch yesterday and said it's just too sandy. I mean, this is going to be like easy to carve into. I got to keep sanding it. But I got my log today so I can put the stone on the log and sand it on that, because I don't want all this sand stuff just landing on the porch. Because then if I walk through it, then I've got chalk. It's like chalk on my shoes. And I don't... More mess. Nope. Pass. So... Anyway, I sanded it down the whole way, all of it down yesterday. Didn't take me very long. I'm like, shoot, this stuff is like butter. I'm going to be able to like carve right through that. I got to get I bought some tweezers like that have pointy ends that I was going to try. I don't know. I got to try them, I guess. So, anyway. What else is going on in the world? I just still can't believe what that they got. And then it's like, look all over this, like there's crimes all over that. It's like, man, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? What are you doing really to earn those pensions? You know? I mean, because like, I know here, if somebody steals something, you call the police. Police ain't going to come out to fill out a report. You know? I mean, it's like, what do they do? What do they do? It's interesting to see the evolution of that. To see things evolve from how they used to be. Mom, it's got to be, well, you don't really go out much. You just really mostly hear the stories that I tell of what the world's about. Well, compared to what it was like in when you were growing up, I don't know how much of that you remember in the 50s and 60s when like JFK was assassinated. You remember that? I mean, people, I mean, were they as harmful to one another as they are now? I mean, was there so much violence? There was a lot of violence? So it's just human nature, huh? And in the 70s? The Vietnam? And that effed a lot of people up, you know. When that's where my awakening started, was from Larry Hickey. He was the first person. I remember him sitting me on his lap, and he turned over the toothpaste tube. Yeah, and there was like stars on it, and there was like a wood, like, I don't know, there's a picture on the back, and it had these stars, and it had these I can't remember what the rest of the picture. I want to say it was like a basket or something like that, but I can't remember all the way. But I do remember the stars and him explaining that there's symbolism everywhere, and that there's witchcraft, and that they do rituals by putting things on the packages, and then people are paying homage to whatever ritual without even knowing it, just by brushing their teeth from toothpaste that's made at Procter and Gamble. And if you look it up, if you look up Procter and Gamble, like myth or conspiracy or whatever, it's in there. I mean, they talk about it, you know. So I've been paying attention to symbolism and all that stuff since I was freaking 6, 7, just looking, wondering, you know, the truth. Is that how they really are? You know, is that what they're really about? Everybody all over the place at all times. What are they trying to hide? You know, is it good? Is it bad? What is it? And everybody's got secrets. I don't have secrets. There's stuff that I don't talk about here. I don't have secrets. I don't have stuff. I don't have secrets. I hold other people's secrets. I don't have them. You know, truth always comes out. That's one of the reasons. Like, you hide stuff, you keep stuff hidden. Dude, that's the stuff that people are looking for all the time and want to frickin' unravel and expose. That'd be the first stuff I'd tell. You know, I used to live this way. I used to do things like this, but now I know better. I don't live that way anymore. But here's some examples of the places and the person that I used to be. But I don't live that way anymore. Those are the examples I'm looking for. That's about all I got for now. I hope you have a rad day. Peace.